If I can guess right now, your life is probably colored within this light of depression and anxiety. You probably wake up every morning and you probably only ever chase for the fleeting pleasures. You indulge in all the bad habits, and you're consistently always just looking for the next source of dopamine that can bring you a bit more pleasure, a bit less away from boredom and negativity. And a lot of those times you probably go for like some of the most degen, like absolute worst habits. You probably fap a lot. You probably like doom scroll all the time, just play video games, all of that, eat junk food. And this was a very similar point in time to my life before, when all I knew was also like every day was just simply just me searching and wondering for just another, like from one dopamine source to another, and like never understanding why I felt so deep down like depressed and like so anxious and like so frustrated and agitated with myself. And most people don't know it, but the real true answer to why is because this is just all just symptoms of bad mental health. We look at these bad habits that we try to quit, like doom scrolling, playing video games, jacking off, and like everything, eating junk food. We all think it is a result of like the bad habit itself. We think it's like only the bad habit itself, like the habit itself is what's holding us back. It's the thing that's like by individually that we should be tackling to intentionally try and quit it. But the thing is, a lot of these are like not like actual things that are meant to be like the source of all of our unhappiness, and instead is the fact that overall these habits color your life into making it depressed, into making your mental health awful and troubled. And so it's just crutches to your overall life experience, where the vessel of like your human body to experience this life is just wasted upon doing these bad habits. And so today I want to share with you how with 3 habits that I was able to completely transform my mental health. And spoiler alert, this thing of changing up your mental health, it literally only takes like 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Okay, like 2 weeks to maybe even a month, but like that time frame is probably very likely if you implement these tips that I give you effectively, your mental health, you will look completely unrecognizable from who you used to. So as a quick action step for this morning, for this start of the video, I want you to go ahead and take the mental health test down below in the description. I'll link all 3 of them there. There's the one for depression, anxiety, and ADHD. Do all 3 of those and read the questions very carefully, as well as the answers that you select, and answer them very truthfully, please, because I mean, no one's gonna see your results, and this is all within your own knowledge, and that you want to improve your mental health. And so I want you to take the test now. Just like pause the video, go off and like do those 3 right now, and then once you're done with all 3 of the questionnaire quizzes, go ahead and screenshot your results that it will give you. It will give you like a score like 1 out of 20 or something. I'm not too sure. It's been a while since I took them, but but just go and take those, and then like come right back to the video. And when you screenshot them, you can like, after the 2 weeks of, or like a month of implementing all of these good self-improvement habits that I teach you today, I want to compare them directly and retake the scores that afterwards, so to kind of grasp that image of how effective these habits will be, more than something like gay bullshit therapy, you know what I mean? So just go do that right now. So the first habit I want to share with you is meditation. More specifically, this variation called mindfulness meditation. it is one of the many variants of meditation, but I think this one in particular is the one that is vital towards improving your mental health. So, a while back, in my first video, I made the guide on how to meditate. That video you should definitely check out after this one, because it provides lots of more specific detail and insight into how to meditate and everything. So after watching this, you should go and watch that to get a more in-depth, detailed, precise walkthrough of how to practice meditation. But essentially, in a quick rundown summary, there's this framework that you develop for mindfulness meditation, and it is a 4-part step. So first step is focus. So in meditation, we all know that it is about the breath. It is about breath work and focus on breathing in and out of your nose. So while you are breathing and you are inhaling and exhaling, your mind is present on this sensation that is going in and out of your nose, the air that is going in and out of your nose. And you are completely present in the moment, and your mind is just free of thoughts. It is completely centered here. But that's when the next part of it is to lose focus, when your mind is present, but then you let the mind wander and you get random thoughts and memories, and you lose your presence. The third part is to realize, to break out of that thought and memory. When you're in that thought and memory, you kind of understand and realize the breath is still here. I'm meant to be focusing on it. And so while the thought, and instead of being agitated, because I know that when people think what meditation is, they think I'm meant to have no thoughts in my mind, no distraction whatsoever, completely stillness and calmness, nothing within. And you just but that's how people end up failing, because they don't understand that getting the thoughts while you're meditating, getting the thoughts and memories that let your mind wander off the breath, is exactly what's meant to happen, so that you can almost do one rep of training your brain to break out and pull yourself back into your present state. And then so that way the fourth step is coming back, where you bring it back to where you begun and go back to focusing on the air that is inhaling and exhaling out of your nose. So if you're just starting out on this habit of meditation, I want you to aim to doing only 3 to 5 minutes of meditation when beginning. And so from there, each session that you keep doing it. So every morning, I'll wake up and I'll set a timer on my watch for 16 minutes, and I'll just do meditation to that. So Medito is a really good app for helping you to for your beginner training wheels to meditation. I don't really use the app anymore, because I think because every morning when I wake up, I don't want to grab my phone and accidentally start scrolling and everything. So I'd rather just prefer to use it to do the timer on my watch instead. But the significant benefits this has to your mental health is that this enables your mind to be more present and mindful more often in everyday life. You'll have a heightened sense of awareness into your mind and your surroundings. When you're speaking to other people, you'll make good eye contact, and you'll listen, and you actually listen and take in the information they're talking to you in the conversation. You'll be more focused within your work and your purpose, and your mind will just be more light and agile, less hunkered down with lots of thoughts and of this and that. And then you're more grounded. You make better decisions. You have less clouded judgment of things, and your mind just has this feeling of peace and presence overall, which really helps to take away a lot of that negative overthinking and everything. especially the damage that has been done to our brains from the short form content, like scrolling on reels or like TikTok and everything. It will like completely reverse all of that, because when you're scrolling, that saps away, that takes away your attention span, that shortens it. But what's even crazier is that with meditation, not only is it not decreasing it, it's like keeping it at the same state, but in fact it expands it, it makes it bigger, it makes your attention span like be held for longer, which you'll know is like very, very important. And it helps like kind of regulate your dopamine system, so that your baseline of dopamine goes actually like from down here very low all the way up here, which is very beneficial and will help you to like have a more clarity in mind, which will definitely alleviate you from a lot of the anxiety and depression that probably used to always keep your mind very, very worrisome and overthinking. Second habit I want to share with you is called gratitude journaling. So every day I want you to write down 3 to 5 sentences of anything, like anything you can be possibly grateful for, anything in this world, in your life, that that if you think to yourself, like take into account thinking, imagine if that specific thing was to just like tomorrow when you wake up disappear, no more, it is completely gone, and you just like imagine in your mind just how much pain and suffering you'd feel from losing that thing. How much pain and sadness would it cause you? And like say for example, I'm grateful for my mother. You probably imagine every day, every morning when you like walk downstairs and you see her in the same place every morning in the kitchen or something, making your breakfast, and you just go to say hi or good morning to her. Imagine if like next morning you went downstairs, she just wasn't there. She just like disappeared, and you'd never see her lovely smile again to when she greets you every morning. And just simmer in that kind of emotion of like sadness, because you realize just how much value and like how much like happiness she has brought into your life. And while you are like while you can imagine how much suffering and pain you'd go through when you lose her, acknowledge the suffering and acknowledge the pain, to remember that your mom is still here, that your mother is still by your side, and to express your appreciation towards her while she is still here. You realize just how much grateful and thankful you are for her presence in your daily life, despite seeing her every day. So you can even take it up a notch, saying like, I am grateful for my mother because she cooks every meal for me. So this act of gratitude is like so powerful, because like I don't think your mother has like gotten the same amount of like gratitude and everything from like almost anyone, especially from you, probably like in ages, man. When was the last time you like hugged your mother, or the last time you told her that you loved her? It's probably like decades ago, right? Decades ago, when you were still a kid. But that's how you really make the change in like their lives, because for the first time in forever, like someone probably has like actually expressed genuine gratitude and actual appreciation for just being there in your life, for just being there and existing every day beside you. And so I think that's a very, very powerful thing to practice a lot. So every morning I want you to write down these 3 to 5 sentences of what you are grateful for. You can be like a tech nerd incel and just like write this stuff online, or like in a document or a note page on your phone. But like, if we're kind of, but like, don't be like that. Just like, honestly, like, grab out a journal and like actually write it with pen and paper. Like, it's so much better that way. I don't know, it just like, it is my preference, but like, I think you should do that as well. This practice of gratitude will like even more compound when you realize like how much it will like trigger more thoughts of thankfulness and appreciation day in, day out. Like, when you're going about your normal day, like every morning you write down stuff you're grateful for, but when you go about your day as normal, you'll like you'll have like this heightened sense of awareness to be like, to look at things, and you'll kind of like almost like randomly think like, and like look at something random that's like, oh, that thing, like, I'm really grateful for it, like, you'll just like suddenly you get a rush of like, automatically get thoughts that get implanted into your brain that are positive rather than being negative than like what you usually get before. And you'll just like walk around and you just look at things like, hey, that thing, like, I'm really grateful for it. Like, I didn't realize just before like how much it actually impacts my life, and how much it actually like how much of an instant difference it makes despite it being so insignificant. And you'll just like be like simply way more happier and be in a better mood because like you're able to like be like appreciative of like such small insignificant things. Like, you probably don't even know how grateful you are for like having like hands. Like, I just thought to myself before, like, imagine like not having them. Imagine not having these things that we've always used in the everyday. Imagine if they were just gone. And I just look at them and I'm like, I'm so grateful for them. I'm so grateful for my hands. Like, you've never heard of anyone say this before. And so this way, like, from such simple acts of gratitude, you'll be able to like implant so much more positive thoughts rather than negative bullshit overthinking that colored your mind before when you're depressed. And the last thing I want to share with you is about exploration. Remember when you were like a child, like probably like very small, probably like 4, 5, 6 years old, and you used to like go outside and play a lot and everything. You used to go to the park with your parents, and you used to like go and climb trees, and like you used to balance walking on like the pavement bricks in between the road and the pavement, and you'd like go and like play fight and wrestle with your friends. You'd like jostle and like tussle around with them, and you like play with sticks and everything, like doing pretend sword fights. Like, that stuff is like what technically was actually like what brought us such happiness when we were children. We all get those nostalgia times of like when we used to be children, and like we always like reminisce like, oh yeah, those were the good days and everything. Those used to be the days that when everyone was happy and whatnot. But like, the answer, it was always in front of us. Even as adults now, when we're older and everything, the answer is still in front of us, that we can still go outside and do those things that made us happy as children, that brought us the childlike imagination and like happiness and joy and pleasure to be like doing such small things like jumping as far over a puddle as possible, or like climbing to the highest tree branch. Like, that stuff you can still do now. You realize that it's only because the modern world has like conditioned us, like society nowadays frowns upon like adults trying to be like kids to go outside and explore, and instead we have to be boring adults who just sit down in our crusty chairs with poor posture, like working in front of screens all the time, and just like staring into blue light and everything, staying like indoors and not actually even getting proper vitamin D, and just like slaving away to these to the screens and everything. Because this, like, from childhood as well, like, we were conditioned to like believe that like maturity is like meant to be like not to act like a child anymore, to to like not be so like fidgety and like and everything, just like sit still, crisscross applesauce on when listening to the teacher, and like just listen to mommy and daddy and what the teacher tells you, and just do as you're told. Just like not like the teacher. I remember back when I was in primary, like I used to like go to the field and there would be like trees there, and I'd like go grab up sticks, and like long big sticks, and I'd be with my friends there like fighting with like tree branches and everything, like pretending that we're like knights and like with like swords, or like we're soldiers with like fake pretend guns and everything. It's like that was like so fun, and to like pretend and play around with sticks like that. But the teachers, they then like came along, and and of course they saw it, and they were like, oh my god, no, stop, put those sticks down, and they would like specifically come in, like confiscate our sticks and say like, no, because no, be a good boy because they're so dangerous, don't play, don't fight and everything. And it's just like, that was the point where that was like kind of the memory that I remember, and like realize like how much we've been like constricted and handicapped of our need to be like and our desire to be like normal human beings, to like actually go outside and like live within nature, and like frolic and like explore, because we were meant to be underneath the sun, frolicking and allowing our bodies to be free flowing and like fluid, have our like joints be so like open and like be able to move around so much. And like now we probably just like sit indoors on our crusty chairs, and like we might even like bounce our foot, or like fidget with our hair, and like tap our foot and like bounce it on the chair and everything. Because that's like a sign of your like actual normal human body needing to be broken free of sitting around all day, and like actually like needing to like release that inner child and everything. So like, please, just like, instead of like wasting away the thousands of years of human evolution that has made our bodies so at peak performance and like peak health and energy, that we are instead just like chained to our chairs instead of like actually going outside to go and fulfill the human desire and need of exploration and movement. So a pretty cool way I'd like you to visualize this as well is like, I want you to like think in your mind. So if you've ever played the video game GTA at all before, you'll know there's like at the top there'll be a map of the whole world that you can explore. And when you begin off, it's usually start at the specific point and it's like all bright, but then the rest of the map is all dark. It's all like unexplored, and like and you don't really know until like when you walk to those places that are dark, they suddenly light up, and you'll open up your knowledge and see more of like the world and everything. So I kind of want you to think of that in your mind. Like, imagine for a second just like a map of your city, right? And imagine that same kind of GTA map placed on top of it, where it's like the places you haven't been to, that you haven't seen at all, are like completely black and like blacked out, but the places like your home, your school, and like the places that you've already been close to your neighborhood and everything are all like pretty bright and everything. So using that kind of thought in your mind, like just imagine that, and like go ahead and like just go to like those places and go and explore them. Like you go outside and go for like a run, or like biking around, where you go to those parts, maybe even like somewhere that's really close in your neighborhood you actually haven't been to before, and you haven't seen it like at all or anything. So like so as a practical way to do this, just like put on your shoes and like go running outside, or like go biking outside to those places, and go and just like feel that feel that like that imaginative like childhood feeling where you go there and you like run over to like this street that you've never been on. You walk past it, or like you go to a park and then you run through it and you just kind of look at it and you acknowledge to yourself like, yeah, like look at this place. I've just explored this. I've just discovered it in my GTA map in my mind, and just like feel that happiness that your inner child deserves to feel again. Like unleash that into the world, and you can just like, and like that will kind of be like such simple dopamine to like enjoy, like going outside and like actually experiencing life and everything. So I really hope you found value out of today's video. I hope that this will completely like change your life and like completely overturn your mental health, and transform it to something you never thought was possible, and get way more benefit and like way more improvement out of your mental health than if you went to some like if you like literally paid like $50 an hour to like have like some gay little therapist listen to you like rant about your problems in life and everything. I hope this genuinely will help, and respect to you for watching this type of like long unedited like low dopamine kind of video to actually like improve your life. So honestly, respect to you for that. Because most people will not, would probably like instead be watching like rage bait, brain rot, AI slop content, but you're deciding to actually invest your time into something that's going to change your life and give yourself more knowledge and mastery. So thank you for watching today's video, and see you in the next one then. Bye bye.